Hi, I'm Tyler from the Gaming Inquisition, and I would like to review a that's right, KRPG, that wants to be an RPG really badly. Magna Carta 2. Now, a little backstory. I played the original Magna Carta, Tears of Blood, on the PS2, and I didn't like it. I wasn't actually going to get this, but someone told me that Magna Carta 2 was actually pretty good. And I gotta say, I gotta thank them for it. So, first I'm gonna go over the story, since this is an RPG. That is the biggest part of an RPG, is its story. The story follows this guy, named Juto, who is a soldier with amnesia, who saves the world. And once you gather yourselves from that stunning bit of originality, this is the princess he teams up with, who is also his love interest. Her name is Rizafilda. Once again, kudos for Bandai Namco for the originality. Anyway, so yeah, you start out as a guy that is a former, they lead on to be soldier, and you learn exactly what kind of soldier he was as the story unfolds. I'm not going to tell you, because that's one of the big plot elements. And as I said, RPGs are mostly about their story, and I do not want to give away the story, just giving some minor foreshadowing. Anyway, along your way, if you'll know who I'm talking about, as I say this, you team up with a few people. You team up with the Minotaur. You team up with Carol Channing, whose name is Carcel. You team up with Vanille's cousin. And you team up with Nell Zelfer, who is the assistant to the princess. Her name's Rue, but she's Nell Zelfer. And you fight the evil empire under Schwenzite. Dun dun. And then, with him, he's got his crazy fanatic, his Joseph Mengele. He's got Count Alex, who is evil. If it's not obvious the first time you meet him, he's evil. He even sits aside to himself and does the mwahaha at one point, I think. So, yeah, the guy's evil. And then you have the #1 soldier of Schwenzite's army, Elgar the Regicide, who at most wants to be Albel the Wicked, Albel Nox from Star Ocean Till the End of Time, really bad. He wants to be Albel Nox, I'm certain. So anyway, the story, most of all, is pretty much your standard story of a gang of rebels fed up with the big bad empire and their evil influences on the world. But the ending is kind of different in that you're not necessarily fighting for the good cause. You're fighting for a just cause, but not a good cause, if that makes any sense. You'll see it when you get to the ending, and how your righteous cause has bad consequences. So, yeah, it's kind of different in that regard. Though, what I really hate is after the credits. After the credits. So, before the credits, something happens that you think is going to be permanent. And you're like, please don't tell me they're going to reverse this. And you're like, basically it's the equivalent if at the end of Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader just shows up all out of the blue. That's how I'm going to put it without giving everything away, which I probably already have. Spoiler alert. So anyway, time to go to the actual... Let's go with the stats, because that's another big thing of RPGs. Your stats are not really influenced by the armor you wear. There's only one piece of armor for each person, and you don't come across that many variants of the armor. And they only have about 2 weapon types that they can use, and once again, you don't come across that many variants. Instead, you use commons, that which you attach to your weapon to alter your abilities, give you different stats, and you have some accessories to use. The most overpowered of which makes your healing spells by Zephy cost absolutely nothing, really. I mean, it makes it to where the cost is arbitrary to even tack on. So you basically have unlimited health, so it kind of makes the game easy from that point. That's kind of their stat system going on there. Now, exactly how do they pull off their combos? Well, anyway, they build up a type of magic energy called Con. Yeah, Con. But, anyway, there's physical Con, and they've got all the elements, and because the physical Con does not disperse as you move throughout the area, it stays with the person. That means the warrior with amnesia and the minotaur are probably the most reliable. And they have some pretty neat special moves, but some of them are extremely overpowered, like Juto's Desperate March, which didn't... I thought it was gonna half his HP or something like that, but there was nothing desperate about it. It should have just been called Here Comes the Pain. Also, Zephy has one that's an insta-kill for most enemies. They have some pretty overpowered magic. So, we've gone over the magic, we've gone over their equipment a little bit, we've got over the characters. It's an RPG, so I can't delve too much into the story, which is what it's mainly about. I will say, though, this for the combat, it's kind of repetitive. At one point, you do get to chain your specials together, but the problem is it never gets past just being able to do one chain. It never evolves. Occasionally you can do special chains involving a certain person, as long as they're holding a certain item on a certain day of the week. But besides that, it doesn't really evolve. So I guess, I know this is a short review. The problem is that the combat isn't that revolutionary. Their stat systems, their item systems is not revolutionary. The magic is pretty okay. The story is what really got me here. So I cannot really delve that much into it. So it's whether or not I would recommend it. I would say if you're a big RPG player, I would get this. This is a nice addition. Even if you didn't like Magna Carta 1 Tears of Blood. Though if you want an introduction to the JRPG, KRPG line of games, I would seriously get something else. This is not your Legend of Dragoon. This is nowhere near as good as Legend of Dragoon. I'm going to put that out there. It is not Star Ocean till the end of time. It's not Chrono Trigger. It's Magna Carta 2. Kind of your poor man's Final Fantasy, if I could put it that way. Or actually, it feels more like a poor man's Star Ocean till the end of time, because it has Albel Nox in it for the most part. Anyway, this is the Gaming Inquisition, signing out.